Hi, I'm Jared Genzer. I'm with the Promoting Democratic Values Task Force. We, of course, decided not to have a grandiose vision of reinventing democratic values in the 21st century. So the starting point for our discussion as a task force was that, in fact, democratic values are pretty generally agreed to, beginning with the Universal Declaration on Human Rights and then the various international treaties that have codified those, including the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, regional treaties like the European Convention on Human Rights, the American Convention in Latin America, the African Charter for Human and People's Rights. So rather than kind of stepping back and saying, well, let's think about what democratic values are, we said, it's actually, there's a world consensus on those things. And rather than thinking we're going to single-handedly reinvent the world, we decided that we would focus on one particular democratic value, which is really core to democracy, and that is promoting free and fair elections. Because at the end of the day, if people can hold their own governments accountable, that will make a massive difference in how effective or ineffective those governments will be able to be over a sustained period of time. What we've decided to do is to try to mobilize a global citizen army, in a nonviolent sense, of course, to do citizen monitoring of elections. And it's based on a model that was implemented successfully by one of our fellow YGLs, Andy Frere, who is stuck with some lost luggage right now. But that was successfully implemented in Argentina in their last elections. It's a program called the Civic Eye. And the Civic Eye set up, in that particular case, a citizen mobilization group of 10,000 citizens who registered in advance, were given very basic training, and then on the day of the elections themselves sent text messages, emails, and other information to a central place where that information could be swiftly collated and made available to the media. The key point to emphasize here is that this is a program set up to run primarily on the back of volunteers, to empower citizens so that they understand that they have a role in having elections be free and fair, and that they can play that role, and in fact to be completely independent of both government activities to try to create free and fair elections, as well as independent of international election monitors. The idea is the citizen themselves, as any citizen, has the ability to do this, and the way that it's done is that the citizen text messages or emails very basic information, which includes particularly whether all voting authorities were at the voting site, whether ballots were available, and whether their voting took place within a reasonable time frame. That is all they're providing, right? And again, real-time reporting to the media. This kind of program has been set up in many other countries, Mozambique, Kenya, but the idea that we are looking at is codifying best practices in this broad field, creating basically a package that we can then work with NGOs in countries. And we have a pretty big goal actually as a first potential target, and giving ourselves time to get there. But that is the next Nigerian elections, presidential elections. That is because Nigeria is, of course, the largest country in Africa, 150 million population, and it's widely believed that that last election in Nigeria was not remotely free and fair, and in fact was stolen by the person who is currently the president of the country. And so the idea will be to work with NGOs inside the country. We already have good connections and contacts with people there, as well as YGLs there, to create a group of literally millions of Nigerians who are able to do this. The software is all publicly available, open source, to connect, and pre-sort based on election district, etc., and to make that available real time to the media and to the world, so that people know what's going on. So that's our grandiose vision for how we're going to single-handedly create free and fair elections in the 21st century.